Welcome back to Transitions. I'm Claudia.
And I'm Ramzi. And today we're taking on a topic that sounds, I don't know, kind of boring if you just read the words. But honestly, if you squint at it from the right angle, it's way more exciting. I promise.
That is like the most backhanded sales pitch for a podcast topic I've ever heard. Ramsey, you are not inspiring confidence here.
All right, let's try again. Today we're talking business valuations. And hear me out. Why getting yours done in Q4 is basically like giving yourself a cheat code for 2026. Power up, business owners.
That's actually better. But I mean, cheat code? Does anyone under 35 even know that reference? Kids these days.
My nephew had to ask me what rewind meant last week, so yeah, we're definitely dating ourselves. But I figure if you're listening to a show about exit planning, valuations, I bet you remember cheat codes, and probably floppy disks too.
Ah, the golden age. Emojis couldn't save us back then. Okay, let's get down to it. Every business owner I meet thinks about what their business is worth, like all the time. But the number in their head, almost always totally disconnected from reality.
All the time. I've had so many owners tell me I think it's probably worth $2 million. I go, okay, based on what? And usually it's, well, I just kind of know. It feels right. The universe told me. I mean, I wish I had that much self assurance.
For the record, the universe is not a certified business appraiser. We should probably get that printed on t shirts.
Totally. Like, manifestation is great, but it's not a financial plan, which is why this is all about knowing, not guessing. So, let's try a different angle here. Claudia, you had a killer analogy last week about home appraisals, didn't you?
Yeah! Getting your business valued is just like, would you ever renovate your kitchen without knowing your home value? I mean, okay, some people do, but a reasonable person, they want to know if that renovation actually adds anything when it comes time to sell.
It's spot on. Same with a business. Why pour more money, time, stress into something if you don't know it actually makes it more valuable?
Exactly. And let's keep going with that analogy. The best time to get your house appraised, not just before selling, but before you decide where to put your renovation budget. Like the appraiser says, don't bother with the fancy pool in this neighborhood. Upgrade the kitchen instead. That's real ROI.
Right, so the business valuation points out exactly where you'll get return. Perfect example. I had a software client, brilliant guy, was about to hire 3 salespeople, thinking revenue growth was everything. But the valuation showed, nope, what buyers wanted was recurring revenue and high retention. So he pivoted, hired one customer success manager instead, shored up retention, and his company value shot up. Texted me like a teenager who won free concert tickets. At least 10 exclamation points.
That's the goal. Less waste, more value, no guesswork. Okay, let's shift gears and talk about why the timing, specifically Q4, actually matters so much.
So why now? Why not just wait until January or do this in the spring? The thing is, by Q4, you've got 3 good quarters of real data. It's not wishful thinking or wild guesses. You see the patterns, you know exactly where things stand. You're not taking a test on day one. You've already studied for 9 months.
And there's still enough runway left to actually do something with what you learn. Like the best thing about getting your valuation this time of year is you can make some fast, meaningful tweaks before year end and then build a full year plan for 2026 based on real numbers, not vibes.
Yeah, it's like financial homework, but this time, solving the problems will literally make you more money. And we can help you figure out which levers to pull. Every industry's got unique triggers that make a business more valuable. Could be margins, could be contracts, recurring revenue, the strength of your team. It's rarely just top line growth.
Let me jump in there because that hits close to home. A client of mine owns multiple franchise locations. Honestly, she was totally burnt out and thought, if I just open another store, maybe everything will get better. But her valuation showed the buyers in her space didn't care how many units you had. They cared about how profitable and self sustaining each one was. So she doubled down on making her two locations stronger, brought in her managers, stopped micromanaging, and, true story, got her weekends back. Business became more valuable and she was way less stressed.
I love that. It's not about being bigger just for the sake of it, focus where it counts. And Q4 lets you see all of those numbers in one place, shows you which fires to put out, which garden beds to water, you know?
And it's a human thing too. We all get stuck doing what feels urgent, confuse motion with progress. But with a Q4 valuation, you're no longer busy just to be busy. You're strategic.
Exactly. And sometimes those levers you're supposed to pull are totally counterintuitive. Like you stop trying to grow for growth's sake and focus on what buyers really value. Maybe it's efficiency or processes or like succession planning. All this so you aren't running faster on the hamster wheel for nothing.
Which brings us to the harder part. What do you do if you get a valuation and the numbers lower than you hoped? Because I think that fear stops a lot of people even getting started.
Yeah, totally. Look, sometimes that first number is a gut punch. Maybe you thought you'd be worth 10 million and it's more like 2. But I always say bad news early is good news because you still have time to fix it, rather than finding out at the closing table when you can't change anything.
It's like, would you rather get a tough diagnosis now or ignore it and have a bigger problem you can't solve later? Knowledge early means options. And honestly, in my experience, even when it stings at first, most business owners are relieved. They can finally stop guessing and start working a plan.
Exactly. So, what's the plan? Well, first, pull together your financials, tax returns, profit and loss, all the stuff you'd usually hand your accountant. Then, go through the business itself. How's your team? How reliant is everything on you? What's your customer mix? You put the picture together, and we make that the foundation for your next steps.
We help you look at the real drivers behind your value and build a realistic, actionable strategy for 2026. And it's not just for the big companies. If you're doing 500,000 in revenue and have been operating for a few years, you're a great candidate. Some of my favorite success stories are businesses at that size. Once they see where to make changes, it's like someone handed them a roadmap.
And here's a really common trap: busyness isn't value. I see folks working 60 hours, putting out fires, thinking if they just hustle harder, maybe value will follow. Sometimes all that sweat is just feeding owner dependency, making the business harder to sell, not easier. If the business falls apart when you're not there, the number goes down. Simple as that.
That's why this process matters. Whether you want to sell in 5 years or 50, knowing your numbers and knowing what drives them means you're not leaving things to chance or the universe. You're making intentional moves to build something that lasts.
Absolutely. We see it across all sizes. Like we said way back in episode 1, it's not just about closing a transaction, it's about your legacy and your future, and giving yourself the confidence to make the right next move.
All right. Whether you're thinking exit or just thinking, how do I make this next year the best yet? Start with a Q4 valuation and reach out if you have questions. We're always here to help.
Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Next time, we'll dig even deeper into the levers buyers look for. Until then, start building your strategy and don't wait till the universe tells you what you're worth.
Talk soon, Ramsey. And thanks to everyone listening. Let's keep making those transitions with intention. Bye for now.
Take care, Claudia. Bye, everyone.